Hello everyone. Have you guys seen this page before? Yes. How about this one? Yes. And this one. This is the most popular browser, I think. Yes, right? These are the pages that you don't want to see when you're trying to connect to the internet. Here at Wayne State University, unfortunately, there is a recurring problem with the internet connection. It's frustrating or infuriating trying to connect to the internet, especially when you're trying to submit your project or submit your homework, and then at the end of the day, you realize there's no internet connection. So there is a solution to those problems. And today in our presentation, we are going to discuss about our project proposal and how to improve the Wayne State's campus area network. So let me show you an overview regarding our presentation this afternoon. We're going to talk about the purpose, the problem, the disadvantages of the current campus area network, the objective of our proposal, the methods we've used for our research, the results we've gathered, the possible solutions that we've found, and also the recommendation. And then at the end, Celeste will conclude the presentation. Colleges and universities have the most in-demand or demanding wireless environment. Wayne State University, as we know, has a fast internet connection. However, there are some areas in the university that does not have internet connection. Sometimes, even if we get to connect to the internet, we still experience some problems. What are those problems? When you're trying to walk outside, you experience intermittent connection, right? And also when you go to busy areas like the student center or the library, you experience low speed internet. And then the farther you go from the center of the campus, you experience some problems with the internet connection, like you're not going to be able to connect to the internet at all. So, as we have mentioned in our previous presentation, a lot of students are using the internet to do their research and their homework. A lot of students as well and teachers are adapting towards the digital learning environment. And the internet has become a vital part of our daily lives. Can you imagine a day without an internet? No, right? So almost nothing gets done without the internet. We rely on it. And the more we rely on it and the more we use it, the more impossible it is not to have internet in our daily routine. So that's the reason why we chose this issue. It's the reason why a reliable internet is very important for each student. So let me talk about the objectives of our project proposal. So the first objective is to improve the Wi-Fi coverage, make sure that every area of our campus has an internet connection. Second is to improve the bandwidth. That would allow us to have a better internet connection, avoiding the slow speed internet. And third is to find a possible and reasonable solution that is cost effective for Wayne State to actually afford it. So the possible solutions for the campus area network issues is to update the architecture design of the network. And by updating, that would mean that we can replace it with the IBM Next Gen network, or we can add more access points. Third is to use mesh networking. Throughout the research, we have found that mesh networking is the most effective solution to address the issues with our internet connection here on campus. My team members will discuss more about mesh networking. So let me introduce the members of our team. To my right is Mustafa Chowdhury. He's a junior student and his major is in computer science. This coming summer, he will be working as a research assistant at the College of Engineering. And to my left is Celeste Tuttle. She's also a junior student here at Wayne State, and her major is also in computer science. And she currently works at Henry Ford Museum as a guest service representative. And myself, my name is Eileen Szymanski. I am a senior student, and my major is in electrical engineering. Sorry. And I currently work at Denso as an apprentice engineer. So this afternoon, Mustafa will discuss about the methods and the results of our research, and Celeste will explain the recommendation and then conclude the presentation. So let me pass the floor to Mustafa to discuss more about our research.
Thank you, Willie. As she mentioned, internet plays a vital role in our education system because students need internet connection to do their homework. So it is important to improve the Wayne State campus area network. Today I'm going to talk about the method we used for our research and the result we gathered from those research. For our primary research, we sent a survey to the student to get their opinion about the internet connection at Wayne State University. We also conducted an interview with one of the faculty member who is cybersecurity and network specialist. We also talked with CNIT department staff to get more idea about the current network system that Wayne State have. And finally, we do our secondary research where we focus on internet research and our library research. So as I mentioned earlier, we send a survey to the student to get their opinion about the current wireless network system. We found that 90% of those students said that they are not satisfied with the connection they're getting at the campus. And they also said that the wireless connection should need to be improved. In some areas at the campus, the connection is working really fine, but in some part of the areas, there are some issues with the speed and also with the coverage. So when we also talked with CNIT staff, and we found that they are right now working to improve the campus area network. So we want to get more idea about what kind of technology they are using to improve their network. But unfortunately, we didn't get any reply. So for our research, we also conducted an interview with Professor Mr. Jiang Fungei. So during the process of interview, professor said that Wayne State uses point-to-point network system for their wireless network. In point-to-point network system, the access point is connected by wire, and if one of those access points get out of the order, then all of the other access points in entire network will get trouble on it, and the internet connection becomes slow. And therefore, this current system will not going to provide sufficient amount of service within a couple of years because the increasing data transfer rate through wireless. So we did our secondary research, preliminary the internet research, and we found that the IBM, the great cloud computing company, is working on a new campus network, especially for a school, called Next Gen Campus Area Network. We tried to reach and interview one of the IBM consultants, but they said that they don't want to disclose their network system currently with the student right now. On the other hand, so after another method we conducted is that our library research. So during our library research, we tried to find out what kind of new network technology using by some of the big companies like Google and IBM. So from our secondary research, we found that there are 3 possible solutions to solve the current wireless system at Wayne State University's campus. One of them is by installing more access points. But the problem is, if we want to install more access points, we are going to installing in point-to-point network system. We are not changing the network system. So therefore, probably it will improve the condition a little bit, but after a few years, it will not going to provide enough service. Another possible solution to implementing the next-gen campus area network. Because IBM said that these network systems work better than any other network for schools, but not any other school yet use this network system, so we are unable to gather any information about this network. And the third possible solution is mesh networking. As Professor Zhang also said that mesh networking will be the best choice for improving the campus area network, especially for outdoor coverage. So right now I'm going to talk about some of the benefits of the mesh networking, then the traditional access point which currently have at Wayne State University. One of the major benefits of mesh networking is it becomes flexible. You can install it in the light post or in the top of the building, so it is easily implemented in hard to cover areas. The other benefit is mesh networking has self-healing technology. As I mentioned earlier, in point-to-point network system, when one of the access point goes out of order, other access point will be affected by it. But in mesh network, if one of the access point goes out of service, then the communication will be routed automatically. So the entire network will not get affected by it. Other benefit is it has a direct path, meaning it always chooses the fastest route to reach its destination. Therefore, it has the fastest data rate than any other network system currently has. The maximum data rate of mesh networking is 7.2 gigabyte per second. And obviously, it is cost efficient because the mesh network communicate each other wirelessly, so there are no wired connection required to communicating with other access points. So as I talk about the method of our research and the result that we gathered, I thought that mesh networking will be the best choice to improve the current situation at Wayne State campus. So right now, Celeste is going to talk about our recommendation, and then she will conclude the presentation.
Thank you, Mustafa, for going over the overview of our results. So the research that we've done, as Mustafa mentioned, was the surveys, the interviews, and the database research. Most important to us was to find an answer to our question, which is, how can we improve the campus area network here at Wayne State? This answer we wanted to be effective, to provide better coverage, and to have faster bandwidth overall. And with our research, we found three possible solutions. The first being adding more traditional access points, the IBM Next Gen Campus Network, or the third being implementing the wireless network here at Wayne State. So with the traditional access points, adding more of those, which was provided by the interview with Mustafa's professor, seemed like a good idea. It would add more connection. However, because it's a wired access point, we were concerned with the issue with Wayne State being a point-to-point network system. And if one goes down, then that wireless right there goes down until it is put back in order. The IBM Next Gen Campus Area Network project seemed like a reliable option, but unfortunately they declined in talking with us because we were students to receive more information on the project. And that leaves us with the wireless mesh network, which seems the best recommendation, and that's why we are recommending it to you all today. So with the wireless mesh network, it provides a better coverage, both inside and outside on campus, and a faster bandwidth. In comparison to the traditional access points, which are, most nodes are in a small amount, they're wired. The mesh wireless network have nodes that can range from dozens to hundreds that connect wirelessly, so they're able to provide coverage over a larger area, unlike the traditional access points. So kind of to explain that visually, you can see here on the left is going to be the traditional access points, and on the right, the mesh access points. With the traditional, you can see the internet and the server being connected with the wire to the switch, which then uses a wire to connect to the access point. And from there is where your devices connect wirelessly to the access point. And then with the mesh, you can see that the internet and the server are connected with the wire to the mesh router, but from there, the mesh router can connect wirelessly to other mesh routers that then use the wireless connection to provide to your devices. And this can become the issue where, say, if this access point, this wire is down, and that connection over there, devices are able to receive internet connection, and that can become an issue until they're able to put it back up. However, with the mesh router, if one goes down, they're able to reroute the wireless connection to other routers to still provide your devices and yourself that internet connection. So as an overview of our project as a whole, I'll give you a brief recap of everything that we've done to be standing in front of you all here today. So our team, me, Aline, and Mustafa, we came together and we asked the question, how can we improve the campus area network here on Wayne State? First, we provided the survey to the Wayne State students. It had numerous questions in that survey, but the most important answer that came back to us was that more than 50% of the students were dissatisfied with the connection they had on campus. From there, we looked into solutions. We had the additional traditional access points, and while that did provide more connection, we wanted a better solution to our problem. We had the IBM Next Gen Campus Area Network project, but unfortunately we weren't able to get more resources from that to provide that as a recommendation for you all. We did contact Computing and Internet Technology here on campus, and we did find out they are going to upgrade the network, but we were unable to receive more information from that to include that in our project. And then thanks to secondary and database research, we did find out about the wireless mesh network, which became our best option to recommend to you all here today. And before we go, I just want to make sure you guys are able to leave with something from this project here today. So on our campus, students are unable to reach internet connection, and that becomes an issue, whether it's for educational reasons such as Blackboard, online classes. But there are many students living on campus or with long breaks where they rely on Netflix or social media just to get throughout the day. And that becomes an issue. Students want this internet fixed, they need it fixed to live their everyday lives here on campus. And Mesh Wireless Network can do that for this Wayne State campus. Thank you all for your time and attention, and we are happy to get back any feedback or concerns for this project.